In 2005, we had several deaths in the community of graduates from Northport, and the community was outraged. The community was like, oh, I can't believe heroin overdoses. So the superintendent and the Board of Education got together and they decided to create a coalition, but make it a community-wide coalition as opposed to just being the school. So that's initially how the coalition was spawned. And then we asked the community to be involved. We had 65 members to start.
The Northport Police Department, including myself and several of our officers, have been involved with the East Northport Coalition since its inception.
I think having a coalition in our town benefits both the community and the students and young people because it helps to raise awareness to the issues that are in every surrounding community.
Well, the community is involved in many aspects of the coalition, whatever they feel. We have 3 subgroups right now. We have a community outreach subgroup in which we reach out and do things within the community. We have several projects. One of the projects was the drug reclamation box that was ran by a community member.
One of the things we've done in Northport, how we've increased drug and alcohol awareness, we do have a medical disposal receptacle right in our police department. People do come in here and are able to get rid of unwanted or expired or unused drugs.
We also have a recreation subgroup that focuses just on trying to create sober events for our children of the community. And then we have a school subgroup, and the community members really can get involved in any one of those aspects and be involved.
I became involved in the Northport East Northport Coalition from the beginning as a representative of the public library.
Being a participant at the Northport Coalition, I've gained education on drugs and alcohol.
I think it's very important that the community be involved in dealing with drug and alcohol abuse, because the more people that you get involved and the more people you educate and bring awareness to, the better chance you have at helping to combat whatever issues there are in each and every community.
Our coalition is successful because we have participation from many different sectors of the community. We have law enforcement, we have parents, we have school officials, parents, PTA, and student involvement. And I think that's key for us, that we have all of these parties involved in order to really affect every level of the community.
Well, I'm new to the Northport Coalition, so I haven't done much, but I've gone to the task force meetings and I've helped brainstorm ideas of way to get awareness out about the task force and activities that take place within it.
Well, the coalition is working with, community members and students with the goal to try and create programs for students, such as the book club and other community events. We had a barbecue over the summer to try and get the students some sober activities. It's one of the initiatives that we do.
This last year, Tammy Walsh, who's one of the active participants in the task force, decided to begin a reading club, primarily for students in her senior high school math class. I became involved because I offered to obtain copies of the books that she had chosen. We became the meeting place here at the library, and I also helped her prepare some discussion questions.
The book club, actually being a subcommittee of the coalition, is really, really active.
Our book club, which is one of our initiatives, has impacted many students, because we've had a lot of students that have said, I wouldn't particularly get involved in a task force or a community event, but because they were reading these stories that they were attracted to, it was a good place to get them to start to talk about some of their personal things or things about their friends, whereas I don't think we would have initiated them, let's say, in traditional counseling.
I think it just kind of helps because they can tell their friends and stuff, and they can show that it's not something to be ashamed of. Like, hearing it from a student opposed to an adult, I feel like they believe it more than if you hear it from an adult.
We've held Red Watchman training, which is an initiative through Stony Brook University to teach kids, because I typically teach seniors and they're going off to college, what to do in a toxic drinking situation to keep somebody safe until medical help arrives. We had a barbecue over the summer for the entire community, free to the community. We had about 100 people come. It was great. It raises awareness to us as well as it opens a dialogue. People were coming up to me and saying, you know, this is great that somebody's doing something like this. I have a family member in recovery, or I have a family member who's an addict, and where I think that people normally wouldn't speak about it. Plus the fact that it was a drug and alcohol-free event for kids, and there was people from 3 years old to 85 years old at the barbecue. It was great. And we did a candlelight vigil. So we're trying to do as many things as we can. We have some events coming up throughout the winter also.
In the high school, I've encountered a couple of times when friends have experimented, and it started to scare me, and I wanted more education. And I ran into one of the runners at the library one night, and she told me I should join, so I tried it and I liked it.
With everything that I see and working at the high school and with my own children, and lots of people are starting to experiment, I really would like to become involved because it's a problem.
I mean, it goes back to two. It takes a village to raise a child, and I think we all need to be aware of what's going on around here, and we need to remove the shame and stigma associated with addiction, because that's the key piece, that people shouldn't be ashamed, and sometimes I think that hinders people from getting help.